A sightseeing trip to a remote Mayan temple turns into disaster when professional diver Ken Wilson leaves his friends and gets lost in the jungle.
I have no sense of direction, what's east, west, north, south.
He's lost. He's going further away. And now I'm really concerned.
Now he has to learn to survive in this predator-infested hell. But weeks alone in the jungle will destroy his body and his mind.
This is not right at all. There is something wrong here. I could already be dead, and I don't know it.
Hey guys, how you doing in the back?
I'm hungover, it's your fault.
How many beers did you drink last night?
Professional diver Ken Wilson and his employer and close friend Kathy Gorgens run a small tourist resort on the Mexican island of Cozumel.
Hungover as well, aren't you?
We sell fun. You're taking people to do something they love every day. And that's when people are happy. And that's the best time to be around those people is when they're happy.
Ken, tell them about your first dive.
Oh, Kathy, yeah. Well, I used to tend bar in Volcano.
For Ken, this was a chance to quit his job in construction, to do what he loves best, scuba diving.
It's probably one of the most peaceful things you could do. You're totally weightless. It's almost a form of meditation.
We'd love to take you diving, Ken, but you're wearing your wetsuit on back to front.
Ken is like, I would say, something that you find like a rock and you think, oh, this is pretty, I'm gonna keep it. And then you shine it up and you find out he's a gem.
Today, they're taking 2 of their customers to see the ancient Mayan ruins on the island.
All right, let's check it out. Here we go.
It's the last day of the holiday, and tomorrow they all return to the US.
Hold on.
We had 6 lovely days of diving. On the 7th day, we decided we'll walk around the ruins, work up an appetite, go have breakfast.
Hey, you want a guide?
No, not so aggressive.
But I'm a good guide. No, not so aggressive. I'm the best guide ever.
The Mayan ruins are all that remains of a lost civilization that lived on the island over 1,000 years ago.
You just felt like you were in a sauna. It was so hot and so humid, and it was just hard to breathe. And then the mosquitoes were just so bad.
Well, this certainly isn't the one in the picture.
Collapsed and overgrown, the ruins are a far cry from the magnificent Mayan structures Ken had imagined.
Let's go a little further and see what we can find.
You know what? You guys go ahead. I'll wait for you here.
You sure you'll be okay?
Ken, I'll be fine.
We began to work our way out through the ruins, and of course now it's about 11 o'clock and the heat's really building up.
Look, Ken, I'm sorry, I'm going back.
It's not long before the other 2 have also had enough of the oppressive heat.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Me neither.
I said, well, I'm going to walk on about another 15 minutes. And I probably should have stayed with them,
Located in the center of the island, the ruins are surrounded by hundreds of kilometers of thick, impenetrable jungle.
At that time, there wasn't any signs, there wasn't any markers, and it was pretty grown up.
Ken is determined to find the ruin pictured on his ticket receipt. But he's having no luck, so he decides to head back.
I need to get back. Catherine's hot. She needs to leave. We need to go back and get something to drink.
But it's not as easy as he thinks. All the paths look the same.
So I crossed. You got another intersection, then another intersection. It became a little confusing about which fork of this I was taking, so I began to explore off this branch, and I would come to the next intersection, and this is not familiar.
The network of Mayan pathways that centuries ago linked one building to the next is now an overgrown maze. And Ken is lost in the middle of it.
I'm sorry, guys. This is really unlike Ken.
Half hour goes by, 45 minutes go by. Now my intuition's kicking in. It's going, there's something wrong. Ken's not like this. This is out of his character.
The sun's directly overhead. I have no sense of direction, what's east, west, north, south. And now I'm really starting to get charged up. I need to rely on a little bit of adrenaline to get me where I need to go. And at that point, that was a state of panic.
Then all of a sudden, an hour goes by, an hour and a half, and I said, that's it. There's something wrong here.
Kathy!
We don't hear him. So I said, let's go back to the entrance. Maybe he's waiting for us back there.
What was that?
Then I heard this real faint call.
That's Ken. That's gotta be him. Ken! Ken, we're over here!
Kathy!
And I said, you guys hear that? And they said, no, what? And I said, just listen. Let's just sit here for a minute. Just listen. So we all listened. And then all of a sudden, we heard that call. I said, see, did you hear that? Yeah, I did. Call back. I know that's Ken. He's lost.
I heard him call back.
Thinking he can make out the direction of Kathy's voice, Ken makes a fatal error.
And made the decision to leave the paths and go straight through the jungle to where I heard the noise.
Ken thinks he's heading straight for Kathy. But he's been deceived. The thick jungle has distorted her screams. And every step he takes is leading him away from her and deeper into Cozumel's dark heart.
Kathy!
Kathy can no longer hear Ken's cries.
And now I'm really concerned. He's lost. He's going further away.
So whenever I didn't hear a response from the last call, it really gave a sort of sinking feeling.
Kathy!
He's hopelessly lost in one of the deadliest environments on Earth. In just 3 hours, it will be dark, and Ken will have to confront the terrors of the jungle at night. He's been missing for over 6 hours, and his friend Kathy is increasingly concerned.
I asked some of the tour guys there, I said, can you help us? The guy is lost in there, and he didn't come out with us, and I'm really concerned he can't find his way out.
Panic drives Ken forward, but he has no idea where he's going.
I can still get out of here. Every minute I'm thinking I can still get out of here.
But pushing through the dense forest growth is draining his strength.
It really began to take a toll on me physically. The brush is so thick, you can never walk in a straight line for more than 10 or 15 feet. So I really have no sense of direction right now. I need to hurry up and get back, push harder, push harder. Would run into vines, which would tear up my ankles, and I would end up falling down again.
It's 4 p.m. In just 2 hours, the jungle will be plunged into darkness.
I might have covered 2 miles in that first burst of energy, but now I'm going really slow. Sun's starting to set in, it's getting darker and darker.
Desperate to escape the jungle before nightfall, Ken pushes himself harder.
I had caught my leg in a hole, and I thought, well, I've almost broken my leg just now. If I break my leg, I can't walk out of here. And I decided to make my camp here for the night.
Ken now faces a terrifying night alone in the jungle. A fire is all that stands between him and unseen predators.
It was a little bit of an eerie feeling because I'm thinking there could be someone out there watching me.
All around him, the jungle is coming alive.
I could hear some kind of animal and occasional leaf rustling. I had a degree of paranoia, and there was no way I was going to be able to sleep in that situation.
Scared and alone, Ken's thoughts turn to his friend, Kathy.
Of course, in the back of my mind, I knew the whole time that I'm there that Catherine is going to be at the forefront of somebody looking for me.
He doesn't know it, but he's right. Kathy's raised the alarm back at their hotel. But at night, there's nothing anyone can do.
I was crying. I was really upset. I just sat on the edge of the bed, fully dressed, just praying and praying, please, God, help him find his way out. Please help him find his way out.
Ken makes it through the night. He's had barely any sleep, and his body is still recovering from the exertions of the previous day.
You know, the first day, our plan was to go to the ruins and go eat breakfast. So the moment I was lost, I was already hungry. I had not eaten from the night before, and I desperately needed something to drink.
But his first priority is to find a way out of the jungle. His flight back to America is due to leave in 6 hours, and he's determined to be on it.
As soon as the sun came up the next morning, I can still make it to the airplane. I can still make it. I can make it to the flight. Wouldn't it be something if they had all my bags packed and Catherine was at the airport and I ran in to get in line at the last minute? I can still do it.
Ken doesn't know which direction to run, but he's sure he must come out of the jungle soon.
And I've got to come out on the road. It's going to be any minute now.
The jungle is an assault course, and Ken has to climb and drag his way through it.
A lot of times we got to get it done. You've got to call on that adrenaline to help you out. You're using your adrenaline as a tool. Yes, I can still make it. I can still make it to the airport in time to get on my flight. I'm going faster and faster because, you know, I've got less and less time.
But racing through the jungle is badly dehydrating Ken. And the lack of fluid is causing crippling muscle cramps. And it's too late, anyway.
And I knew that that was my flight, and there was no way I was going to make it back to the airport. I've really messed things up.
As far as he knows, Kathy is on her way back home, and he is on his own. Ken has no choice but to keep going and try to find a way out.
As the day goes on, it's just sweltering. It's like being in a sauna.
In this tropical jungle, where temperatures can hit 40 degrees, he's losing as much as 10 liters of fluid a day. Unless he finds water soon, his kidneys, liver, and brain will begin to shut down.
I am really dehydrated. I am so thirsty as my mouth is like a cotton ball. You don't care whether the water's dirty or not. Any water will do.
It's not a lot, and Ken risks deadly bacteria. But then he hears something to give him hope.
I begin to hear this drone, this sound. I said, this has got to be the highway. I can hear it.
But the sound of the road turns out to be the buzz of a huge beehive. Once again, the jungle has deceived him. Ken now faces a second night alone. Using his last match, he decides to build a giant fire, hoping the flames will be spotted from the air.
And this fire is just roaring, and these sparks are going like 50, 80 feet up in the air in this huge fire, and I'm thinking, somebody's looking for me. They're going to see this. They're going to see the smoke. They're going to know where I'm at.
Come on! Yeah! Come on! Come on! This is big enough for you! Come on, guys! See this! Come on! Come on!
And the night began to wear on, and it was like, well, nobody's here yet. Somebody should have been able to see it.
Come on, please! Come on!
But Ken's fire is just a pinprick of light in nearly 1,000 square kilometers of jungle. Nobody sees it.
I wanted someone to come in and save me and pull me out of the jungle.
For the first time, Ken begins to fear that his decision to wander off on his own may cost him his life.
I'm from Missouri, the middle of the United States. I couldn't be further away from where I was grown and was raised, and everything is unfamiliar to me here. This hunger that begins to take over, that you can feel your stomach's empty. There's nothing in here.
He's past the point of caring where the food comes from, or what it might do to him.
I found this gourd that was about the size of a cantaloupe that grew in a tree. And I took a taste of it. It tasted like, I can only describe it as the way lighter fluid smells. And I thought, you know, this is really toxic.
God. Oh.
The biggest aggravation of that was these blood-drawing flies that would just take a big hunk of skin out of your leg. It was like a deer fly, we would call them back home. something small the size of a housefly that would bite into your flesh and draw blood, and obviously had some kind of bacteria, and it would cause some swelling.
Unknown to Ken, his friend Kathy is spending thousands of dollars of her own money to launch a rescue mission.
I never experienced anything like this. I mean, I love this man. He's my best friend, and I can't even imagine what it would be like if he died.
Finding anyone hidden under a canopy of leaves spanning hundreds of kilometers would be almost impossible. But Ken is already working on his own solution.
And I climb up this tree and start looking around, and I see nothing but jungle. No matter which direction I look, it's just jungle.
Ken uses the only tool he has with him, a penknife, to cut down the thick foliage for a better view.
Damn it!
Ken can't afford to lose such a vital tool. It could make the difference between life and death.
I went all the way down, about 30, 40 feet down the tree with my eyes exactly on it.
His route is blocked by a deadly python, and his only weapon is out of reach.
And I'm thinking, well, this is not something that I want to have wrap itself around me.
Ken must find the knife. But he knows the python could be within striking distance.
And I could not find the knife. I looked around in the leaves, couldn't find it.
And something else is lurking in the jungle.
I can hear this noise. It was really heavy. I could hear sticks breaking. Kept getting louder and louder.
Exhausted, after 80 hours of blindly running through the jungle, Ken remembers the #1 rule, should you get lost.
You know, they always say the best thing to do is stay put. Just stay put, somebody will find you.
Almost immediately, his prayers seem to be answered.
There has to be some kind of search going on. I decided I'm gonna climb up this tree and I'll be able to flag down this helicopter that I can hear in the distance. I'm gonna wave them down with this flag. They'll for sure be able to see me.
The helicopter is definitely searching the jungle. Kathy's come through for him.
Hey, I'm over here! Hey, over here!
And I see that they're gonna start searching this area, and here I am. I'm gonna be out of here. It's over now.
Look out now! Here! Guys, look!
oh, this is great. They brought in some kind of American search team. I'll be out of here, lickety-split.
Look down! Come on! Look down! I'm here! Come on, please!
I can see this lady inside the helicopter with white tennis shoes with laces. She's wearing gold-rimmed glasses, has blonde hair.
Hey, come on!
I can see every detail. If I would have had a rock in my hand, I could have hit the lady inside the helicopter. I was that close.
I'm alone!
It was like a for sure moment I was going to be found.
That's it! Yeah, that's right! Come on! Look down! I'm here! Come on! Come on, please!
But it's not Kathy.
The lady is talking to somebody on the other side, and it just keeps going.
Come back! Come back! I'm here! God damn it! Guys! Come back! Ah! Ah! Come on!
The rescue team haven't seen him.
I'm reliving this in my mind over and over again. I just can't believe this just happened. It was just devastating.
Ken has decided to stop trying to walk out of the jungle, sit tight, and wait for another chopper. But staying still makes him easy prey.
Well, I would be just covered with mosquitoes in the night. I would cover myself up with 60, 70 leaves like a blanket to try to keep these mosquitoes away. And that would work great for about 5, 7 minutes till the mosquitoes would find their way through these leaves.
Come!
I'd have to jump up and just be totally aggravated and start slinging leaves around and just repeat the process every 10 or 15 minutes, every night. And it was the only way I could keep the insects and mosquitoes from just eating you alive out there.
Over the following days, Ken stays in the clearing, desperately searching for food and water.
I found these plants that are growing in the tree limbs, and they're holding their own water. I looked inside, there's a small snail, there's a little frog in there, and it's like, okay, this water is really bad. So now I scavenged the whole side of the clearing looking for these plants because there's just not enough water, and I'm really parched. I was sitting there dreaming about snow cones and popsicles. If someone were to walk out here and try to sell me a snow cone, how much would I pay for it right now? I think I got up to about $800.
But Ken's daydreams are a dangerous distraction. He needs to stay focused on survival. Each day, the distant sound of search aircraft torments him. He has no way of catching their attention.
They would come in over the jungle and then kind of shut their engines off to an idle and go to stall speed as they would try to peer into the trees to find me.
Ken knows they can't see him through the dense jungle canopy. To make matters worse, he can't find the 2 liters of water a day his body needs, and he's starving. He hasn't eaten more than a mouthful of fruit in 8 days.
I mean, my body's turned on itself now, and it's feeding on my fat and my muscle, and I'm really starting to lose weight.
The jungle is winning. Ken is losing his grip.
I'm in a situation where I'm not talking to another human being, which, if you really stop to think about it, is not normal. How many days does the average person go through and never talk to anybody, never hear a voice on the radio, never talk to anybody on the phone? I mean, it's not a normal situation.
Ken fears he'll lose his mind, and with no sign of any more helicopters, he decides he has to get moving and save himself.
I've wasted 4 days sitting here now. I'm just gonna have to get up and walk.
He's heading straight through the jungle maze, hoping to hit a path or road.
I began to develop a routine. As soon as the sun came up, I would need to begin to walk. And the heat of the day would come on. I would have to spend 3 or 4 hours sitting in the shade just to conserve the moisture in my body. I wouldn't let negative thoughts influence my situation. If I thought, oh my God, that's disastrous, I'm gonna die here now. If I let that thought come into my mind, you know, maybe I wouldn't survive.
But days without enough water and more sleepless nights are pushing his body to the edge of human endurance.
I would never sleep more than 15 minutes at a time because I knew there was a threat from wild animals.
There's only one way to fend off the animals and get the rest his body needs. A fire. Although he has no matches left, he's thought of a smart alternative.
I shorted the positive and the negative battery terminals in an attempt to start a fire. However, there just wasn't quite enough juice in it to work.
There's one last hope.
I decided I'm going to try to build a fire using my shoelaces.
Friction is the most ancient way of lighting a fire. With patience, it should generate enough heat to start a small flame.
That went on for 3 hours, 4 hours. It would just get hot enough to smoke a little bit and stop, but everything there was so wet that the fire just wouldn't start.
Come on.
I was sitting on the floor there just rubbing away in this tree trunk, and I'm thinking, you know, this is not gonna work, and my back is in excruciating pain now.
Everything Ken has tried has failed. He's losing the battle. The jungle has started to claim his body, Now, it will claim his mind. In the last 13 days, all he's had to keep him alive are a few rancid fruits and dribbles of water sucked from plants.
I was thinking all the time that this could go on forever, that I'm never gonna get out of here. I know I can't last forever. Eventually I would die, but I can't let myself dwell on that.
Dehydration is tearing Ken apart.
I know I need to eat, but the first call is for water. My body's saying it needs water.
He's so desperate, he's forced to drink stagnant, dirty water.
And as I'm dipping my camera bag to use as a filter to try to filter out some whatever contaminants could be in this water, I see a small lizard. And this little lizard's about 4 inches long. I could just swallow it whole. I started to swallow him whole, and then he got stuck in my throat because it was still alive. So then I killed him. He ended up being, I guess you could call that a meal.
Desperation is pushing Ken to a place he's never gone before. Fantasy and reality are starting to blur.
I began to build these elaborate scenarios about what was going to happen when I walked out of here. I had this credit card, and I was going to get a taxi. I was going to buy some clothes and get to a hotel.
Hey, take me into town, please.
I'll get that, Ken.
And it isn't just Ken's mind that is unraveling. His body is falling apart too.
It was mostly my legs that were cut up from going through the brush. Those sores on my ankles weren't healing. I was beginning to be very concerned about if they were going to get infected or not. I found out that I've got these scabs on the upper part of my leg that are beginning to heal because they're dry. So I began to take some of the dry scabs and use them as Band-Aids to patch some of the wounds around my ankle. It was kind of like a Band-Aid.
Ken's situation is desperate. Lost, alone and weak. He's being pushed to the edge of sanity.
This helicopter all of a sudden pulls up. There's some kind of loudspeaker in there, and I can hear what they're saying.
Mr. Wilson, you're a truly amazing man. But we regret that we must inform your mother. She may not see you again.
This is not right at all. There is something wrong here. And I start to hear the national anthem from the United States.
Ken is desperately trying to keep his body together. But after 2 weeks alone in the jungle, he's slowly losing his mind.
I'm calling room service, I'm filling up the bathtub, and from there on, I don't care what happens, but that's gonna be my fantasy.
Just leave it on the table.
He's increasingly drifting off into a dream world, from which he might never wake up.
It was just so many weird things that, and I'm beginning to wonder if it's something within my own mind that is keeping me here.
After 15 days of mental torture, it's all Ken can do just to stay alive.
My body needed water so bad, it could never think anything but quenching my thirst. It's a very strange feeling, this stress from not being able to drink, not being able to eat, not being able to find your way out.
Ken no longer worries about being rescued. Instead, he spends his time catching flies that bite him and feeding them to ants.
And from the stress, there was some sort of relief by watching ants eat these flies. It was a revenge.
But, like the flies, Ken is now part of the jungle's food chain, and his own dying body will soon be its next meal.
The vultures, I began to see 2 or 3, then there was 4 or 5, the next day there might have been 5 or 6. I began to use the vultures as a way to try to signal somebody. And I would kind of lay down and twitch a little bit to act like I was something that was dying, to try to get the vulture's attention, to get them attracted to, and that was a way to signal somebody by air, because I had no other means to do so. But it just didn't work out like that. It was another disappointment. I realized I was gonna die there.
Entire days pass by. Instead of trying to find a way out of the jungle, Ken's becoming part of it.
Now my clothes are nothing but shreds. I haven't shaved in 2 or 3 weeks. You know, I'm matted with dirt. I have no shoelaces.
Ken is still only alive thanks to occasional mouthfuls of stagnant water. He's physically and mentally broken.
I could already be dead, and I don't know it. What if I died 3 days ago and my spirit is here wandering around, and this is my destiny of eternity, is to wander around in this jungle? You begin to think, I'll never get out of here.
After 18 days missing, even Ken's friend Kathy is starting to doubt he can still be alive.
I'm really to the point, like, this is getting hopeless. I mean, it hurts so bad to think that this guy could possibly die.
I just laid down and I dozed off a little bit. In a few minutes, I woke up and there was a woman standing there holding a baby. Some people say that whenever people are lost, sometimes they'll see the Virgin Mary. It gave me such an adrenaline rush when that happened. It gave me more confidence. I'm gonna walk out of here. I'm gonna walk out of here. I kept visualizing that in my mind over and over and over again. I wasn't gonna sit down and die. I was going to keep walking until I died. And whenever I couldn't walk anymore, I was going to crawl until I got out of the jungle. This is like one of the first things I've seen of civilization since I've been lost. Say I was hallucinating, maybe I could have been, but it seemed all way too realistic. Once I had came out there, I knew exactly where I was because I'd been there before. Right at the beach in Cozumel, at the north end of the island. I was ecstatic. I'm not lost anymore. I made it out alive.
After 20 days fighting crippling hunger, dehydration, sleep deprivation, and jungle predators, Ken is finally safe.
He had his hair packed, like spiked with mud, big cuts and scratches, and just looked like he's just been chewed up.
I felt really bad because she started bawling, and that made me start bawling.
The tears were just rolling. We just couldn't let go for 10 minutes. I mean, we were just so thankful he was alive.
It really brought us really close.
Ken's recovery took 6 long months. To help cope with the ordeal, he returned to his greatest love, scuba diving.
The experience changed the way that I think. The fact is, within 10 seconds, any of us could be gone. So I decided I should be more kind to other people. I should be more generous with what I have. I'm just happy.
A retired couple are enjoying a day out in the New Mexico backcountry.
You didn't have control of anything. You were rolling.
But when a stroke of bad luck leaves them stranded in a hostile environment,
there was no human life around. We were it.
they're faced with a grueling hike back to civilization.
They dropped.
But in this unforgiving environment, a simple hike becomes a desperate fight for survival.
It was excruciating.
She didn't have a lot left in her. Just felt like I had to save her.
No, I'm not leaving you.
You're the only one that can get us out of here.
Tom and Linda Bosworth are enjoying a carefree retirement. Today, they're looking forward to a day out.
You coming, honey?
A drive and a picnic in the New Mexico wilderness.
Hey, put that down. That's for lunch.
Tom and Linda have been married for 32 years. Their lifetime of shared adventures stretches back to the 70s, when they met on a skiing holiday in Aspen.
He was really nice. He was not a phony, and he was cute.
I thought she was very nice looking, number one. I thought she had a fantastic personality. That smile of hers was a knockout.
You're not ready in 5. I'm going.
Vietnam veteran Tom has spent a lifetime working in the car industry and his leisure time racing cars. He's still got the bug. He's just finished rebuilding a second-hand Jeep.
Tom refurbished the entire thing. Tom loves a thrill.
I've always loved cars ever since I can remember. I always took things apart.
It's the middle of summer, and Tom wants to test his creation off-road, out in the New Mexico backcountry. Linda's going along for the ride.
Okay, action man, I'm coming.
And I remember looking to see if there was any treat in the freezer we might like for dessert, and there wasn't. But I looked at that big water jug we had frozen, and I thought,
Oh, maybe I should take that. And I thought, oh no, I've got enough with me.
Let me give you a hand. That's fine. Right. Ready?
Let's go.
Well, it was a beautiful day. I thought it'd be fun to do. I thought Linda and I would really like it. This was to fall in love with the mountains in this vehicle.
Glad you came, honey.
So am I. Wouldn't have missed it for the world.
Tom and Linda make a quick pit stop for petrol en route to the mountains.
We were filling up with fuel. I called my sister
Hi, Barb. It's Linda.
and told her what we were going to do, and she said, "You're crazy."
Excited. Tom, I mean, what do you think? He's like a teenager again.
she knew we were going off-road, but she had no idea where we were going.
It doesn't occur to Linda to tell her sister exactly where they're going.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Who's that?
Sis.
Ready?
Ready when you are.
It was exciting to think this is really our exciting trip. We were thrilled to be able to do it.
Their destination is a network of rugged trails in the Burro Mountains, in the heart of the vast and remote Gila National Forest.
You're out in the mountains. It's beautiful. New Mexico really is a land of enchantment.
The couple love the great outdoors, and Tom can't wait to see how well the vehicle handles on the dirt tracks of the Saddle Rock Trail.
The whole thing was exciting for me, and I kept saying, Linda, how do you like this?
It's great.
Look at that.
I was giggling a lot because it was fun.
She was smiling and excited. From that, I was excited.
After their picnic lunch, Tom and Linda take in the isolated splendor of their surroundings.
Pretty special, isn't it?
Beautiful.
There were trees around. You get a lot of shadows from the sun. It was beautiful, just beautiful place.
They've both enjoyed bumping over the backcountry trails. Now Tom's itching to see how his rebuilt Jeep handles even tougher terrain.
Now, Linda, come here a minute.
Tom had a map. Wasn't a perfect map, but I felt very confident. I definitely encouraged him to keep going.
Okay. Let's really test this baby out.
Tom's chosen a route that will take them way off the main trails, into the empty heart of the wilderness.
It was exciting. The trees were hitting us. And the terrain was, oh my gosh, we were bumping and bumping. Kind of a roller coaster ride.
I was piloting a craft like I always do. She had total confidence in me.
Oh, that was close.
I said to Tom, thank gosh, it's you driving. And then...
The Jeep just rolled.
It was scary.
What in the world is going on?
Linda, are you okay?
I'm laying there with my elbow on the ground, looking up at my wife and feeling fear.
Linda, you okay?
Tom was anxious that I was okay, but I said quickly, I'm okay.
By some miracle, neither of them is badly hurt, but the danger isn't over.
First thought that came to my mind is, are we going to catch on fire?
Car expert Tom is worried that a stray spark from the vehicle's electrics might ignite leaking fuel or even trigger an explosion.
Quick, we gotta get out of here.
I wanted to get us both out.
Linda is badly shaken and entangled in her seatbelt.
All right, Hank. I'll go first, and then I'll pull you out, okay?
Okay.
But Tom must get free before he can pull her out.
I began putting my feet on the dash, the seat, the steering column, and then I got out.
Okay.
Yeah, get me out.
Okay, honey.
I was anxious to get out of that vehicle.
Hang on to my arm. I'll pull you out. Stay on the side.
Don't let go of me. Don't let go.
No, I got you. Come. Got it?
Yeah. Yeah, that.
Got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come here, honey. Get your clothes. I got you. Fall into it. That hurt. Oh. Okay, quick, let's get out of here.
That was very scary.
Tom and Linda have had a lucky escape. Kilometers from anywhere, the Jeep is their only way out of this fix.
Yeah.
You stay there, yeah?
Once he's sure it's safe, Tom tries something new.
I thought, if I can get this back upright, we can drive out of here. I tied it to this little dumb tree, and I hooked that to the bumper, and I started ratcheting it. The vehicle was teetering a little, not very much, but a little. And I thought, gosh, if I can just get it to that point, it would fall, come right back.
Tom was exerting himself and trying very hard to get that vehicle to move.
I tried to move it. It was wasted, futile, but I had to try it.
I'm sorry, honey, I can't do it. Anything?
No.
Me neither.
The Burro Mountains all around them block out any mobile phone signal.
There was a phone there with a slash through it. It was totally nothing.
Did you tell your sister we were out here?
No. I didn't tell her where we were going.
I didn't tell anybody either. So nobody knows where we are.
I guess not.
Tom and Linda's fun day out just turned deadly serious. They didn't tell anyone where they were going. And in this remote spot, many kilometers from the highway, the chances of them encountering a passing hiker are vanishingly small.
We were in a very remote place, no tracks of any human life around us. We were it. I said to Tom, we're not going to have enough water.
Very profound statement. We don't have enough water.
The 2 bottles of water Linda brought for lunch are nearly empty.
I remember that fleeting thought that I had. It came back to haunt me.
The temperature is in the 30s and rising. Tom and Linda know that if they stay put, they'll run out of water within hours.
It was a real conundrum for me. I knew the rule. You should stay with the Jeep.
In this heat, the 30-kilometer uphill hike back to the highway would be tough enough for youngsters, let alone a couple in their late 60s. Tom comes up with a plan.
The Gila River was below us somewhere. I didn't know for sure where.
If they hike downhill, they can cross the river and join the highway at a different point. Before they set off, Tom packs one last essential bit of kit.
In the back of the vehicle, I had a pistol. It was a .357 Magnum. The main reason I carried that pistol was mountain lion. Also, there was brown bear around, and I had 2 bricks of ammunition.
An hour since they left the crash site, and the mid-afternoon temperatures are soaring towards a punishing 40 Celsius.
The heat was intense. It's right in your face.
You okay back there, Linda?
Yep, you?
Fine, hon.
And that took a lot of steam out of us.
You get ahead of me now.
The terrain becomes increasingly perilous.
Keep going, honey.
We turned and started down this trail. It was very narrow. And off to the left was a drop-off.
I'm okay. Oh, that's fine.
As the brush thickens, Tom and Linda are all too aware of the risk of stepping on a rattlesnake.
Let me see.
The cut was deep, and it was stinging, and lots of blood was coming out.
I got something for that.
It's a nasty cut, but they can't let it slow them down. With the light fading fast, they're desperate to reach the river before nightfall. Three hours later, they hear the sound they've been praying for.
You could hear the river, and I felt that we were going to get out.
This is not good. This is not what I expected at all.
But instead of a crossing point to the highway, they face a raging torrent and unscalable cliffs. It's a dead end.
The water was high, flowing fast. There's no way just to walk across it.
It's a devastating blow. But after hours with barely any water, at least they can quench their desperate thirst.
Water was paramount. But Linda, she didn't even want me to fill the canteens with that water. She was very concerned about Giardia poisoning.
Giardia is an intestinal parasite that lives in water contaminated by animal feces. In humans, it's treatable and hardly ever fatal. But Linda is adamant.
I wasn't about to drink that nasty old water.
I just said, oh, to hell with it. I drank it.
But I wouldn't do it. That was the argument Tom and I had.
We have to drink it, Linda. It's all we got.
I'm not drinking it.
Tom knows that the river water could spell the difference between life and death.
That was very discouraging. I know she needed that water, but she was so afraid.
As dusk falls, a more immediate danger confronts Tom and Linda.
It's not looking good.
At that point, we were a little scared because animals can smell that blood.
Linda's cut leg makes them a target. Nocturnal predators like wolves and bears are starting to stir.
I was very, very scared. There were footprints, but not human footprints. We knew that the animals must come to this space because it's easy access to the water.
There are mountain lion around there. There are bear around there. If an animal sees that you're weak, a predator, it would attack.
Tom's glad he brought his handgun, but he can't stand guard all night.
I don't want to stay here, Tom.
Wanted to get the heck out of there.
All they can do is retrace their steps to the abandoned Jeep, the only shelter from predators. It means an arduous 8-kilometer climb, a major test of endurance for the exhausted elderly couple.
We really wanted to get back to that Jeep.
More than 4 hours later, totally worn out, Tom and Linda finally make it back to the crash site.
Let's get some rest.
The overturned Jeep offers them protection, but little comfort.
We were tired, but only one person could lay stretched out.
Tom is beginning to face up to the enormity of their predicament. Escape is as far away as ever, and he knows he's put his 67-year-old wife into a life-threatening situation.
I began to realize I love this woman. You have to take care of her. I was very worried about her.
Don't worry, Tom. You'll be fine.
I started feeling guilty. I purchased the vehicle. I was the one behind it, and here we were out there in wilderness.
I'll go back to sleep, honey.
By dawn, Tom has hatched a plan. There's only one option: a 30-kilometer uphill hike back to where they left the highway. For two people in their late 60s, it's a huge challenge. They must get going before it gets too hot.
I was starting to get anxious to get going.
You all right?
Just wait here.
Linda, we've got to go. Whatever it is, just leave it.
I wrote a note. I wanted people to know that we were 67 and 68 years old, and we were out of food, we were out of water.
Linda.
I knew that we had to leave that note on that Jeep so that if some miracle happened, at least someone would get to know where we were.
Okay, we can go now.
By late morning, the temperature is already up in the 30s.
As we were walking, it was just thick, hot. It's just hotter than blazes.
Tom and Linda are exhausted and desperately thirsty, making every step an enormous effort.
When I ran out of water, the reality truly hit that this is a dangerous, dangerous time.
Yeah. Have some of mine.
I was devastated because I was going to have to share some of Tom's Giardia water.
Linda has so far refused to drink the river water Tom collected, fearing it contains parasites.
I had the little sip to get my tongue wet, and I spit the rest of it out.
I said, Linda, don't waste that water. You're going to need that water. I was very worried about her for that.
As the temperature reaches nearly 40 Celsius, Tom and Linda are losing a staggering 10 liters of fluid a day. If they don't get water soon, they could die here.
I looked up, and here's this huge, big bird flying over us.
Buzzards, Tom.
And I thought, gosh, we got to get moving here.
That was very scary. If we don't get out of here, if we don't get water, we're going to be there at dinner.
After 4 hours of hiking, Tom and Linda are utterly exhausted.
Let's rest a while.
I knew then that we're starting to fade a little bit.
Their river water is agonizingly close to running out. Tom knows it's vital that Linda drinks what's left of the precious fluid. Tom is blaming himself for putting his wife in such a desperate situation.
Linda was innocent. She was going for the ride. And I felt guilty about that.
I'm so sorry, Linda. I'm so sorry, honey.
If Tom and Linda don't find water soon, the outcome is brutally simple.
No water meant death.
I was starting to realize that I was weakening faster.
Suddenly, amid the scrub, Tom sees something.
There was this huge, big prickly pear plant. And I said, Linda, you know what? We could eat some prickly pear here and maybe gain some liquid.
We were excited to find the prickly pear cactus.
This is great.
Linda didn't consume all that much.
But Tom cannot get enough of the prickly pear.
I just ate the whole thing.
It's a small but welcome injection of fluid.
At first, we were elated. We were both joking about how good we felt. Both of us felt extremely energized. Wow, this is great. We're moving. We were really walking fast. But then I started feeling my stomach, and I said, Linda, I have to stop. I had major diarrhea.
Tom.
After the diarrhea bout, Tom did seem, if not broken, just withered. And I just felt so terrible for him. He apologized for being sick. He didn't have to. I felt terrible for him.
I'm so sorry.
It was the most ill I've ever seen Tom.
Too exhausted and dehydrated to move, Tom has a desperate idea.
I had just gone through that diarrhea bout, and I said, Linda, can you drink your urine? And I said, we got to plan on doing that, because we cannot lose liquid.
It's a drastic measure, but one they hope might just keep them alive.
The taste in your mouth is awful. But after a while, I found you just chug-a-lugged.
At that moment, I felt that it was one of the only things we could do to save ourselves. I didn't feel like an animal. I just felt like a desperate person.
Tom and Linda know they should have hit the highway by now. If they've drifted off course, they could be heading even deeper into the wilderness.
Tom, look up there. Look up on the ridge.
Hey! Down here!
There were two distinct colors up there, and I realized they were shirts of two different people.
We need help!
Help! We're dying down here!
Help!
Hey!
I remember yelling, help us, we're dying.
We need help!
Help!
Help! We're dying!
Bam, bam, bam.
Help!
And then nothing.
It was very crushing because there is our lives right in front of us. We're saved if those two people would just do something, and they didn't.
It's a devastating blow. Whoever they are, the passers-by have ignored an elderly couple in trouble. This callous act could have signed their death warrant. As they push on in search of the highway, severe dehydration is now playing tricks on Tom's mind.
We were dehydrated. We were very dehydrated, and my mind was not near as sharp. We were starting to lose orientation. I could feel my logic is not as sharp and quick as it was. And I was definitely weakening.
But Linda is even weaker.
Sorry.
We were so dehydrated by then. And the energy and strength level was fleeting.
Linda was so fatigued, she just collapsed.
And I had to rest and lay down.
That's it, Tom. I can't go any further today. I gotta stop.
Okay, sweetie.
As it's close to dusk, Tom decides all they can do is hunker down for a second night in the wilderness.
We were so fatigued, we just wanted to sleep.
Tom and Linda have survived another grueling night. But Tom is desperately worried about his wife. By late morning, as temperatures soar into the 30s, it's clear that Linda is in serious trouble.
I could see she was really struggling. It took a lot of strength for her to keep going.
She's had nothing to drink for more than 24 hours.
I realized that Linda had lost her gait. And she was leaning on that stick more and more.
67-year-old Linda is paying a terrible price for refusing to drink the river water.
I was feeling a terrific pain in my back. Every time I took a step, my back was just killing me.
The pain is a terrifying sign that dehydration is causing Linda's kidneys to fail. If they shut down completely, she will die.
Linda was starting to become weak. It was starting to get real scary.
Then, Tom starts to recognize the terrain.
Coming into Saddle Rock, we had passed a huge ranch.
There's got to be a ranch around here somewhere.
I could see on the map the hiking trail.
I think you must.
And I said, maybe we'll come out near that ranch.
Tom decides to head downhill, praying it's the right direction. Finding the ranch could be Linda's last chance. Then, amid the dry, colorless scrub, Tom spots a flash of vivid green.
There's green grass. You could feel moisture. You could put your hand on the ground and it was wet.
Tom knows there has to be a water source nearby.
Hey.
I'm an engineer. I knew this was a wellhead, and there's got to be a way to get water here.
Oh, please, let there be water here.
Hey.
I thought, this is it. We're going to have water. We're going to have water.
Something had to be running somewhere.
please let us get to that water.
This is crazy.
The well is probably for watering livestock, but he can't find a way to the water. It's an agonizing moment. Tom knows he's just meters away from water that would save Linda's life, but he just can't reach it.
It was so close, but not there, and it was very frustrating to me.
It's 72 hours since Tom and Linda got stranded in the baking heat of the wilderness. There's no sign of the hoped-for ranch, and every step Linda takes is now pure agony. As her kidneys start to shut down, she's literally dying from dehydration.
I could hear her behind me. And I would walk and I'd have to turn, she'd be a good distance behind me. That stick was in the ground. That's when I knew we were in real trouble.
The pain in my back was terrible. It was excruciating.
I realized that she didn't have a lot left in her.
He begged me to get up and keep walking, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore.
Let's just rest here a while.
I can't do this, Tom.
And I said, Linda, come on. We're going to make it.
I'm slowing you down.
I didn't like the sound of those words. I didn't want her to give up.
Don't be silly, Linda. You can make it.
And I said, I love you. We've had a wonderful marriage. It's been a great ride, but you have got to leave me.
No,
Tom, you gotta go on alone.
And she kept encouraging me. She says, you gotta go. You've gotta find someone or water. Go, go, go.
Two of us can't die.
Okay.
I loved that moment. I didn't want to leave her. It was very emotional for me. Very, very hard to leave. That was Linda. I had to go. There was no choice.
A few hours later, and with Linda far behind him, Tom pushes on. If he doesn't find help soon, he knows he may never see her alive again.
I don't know how much further I went.
But now Tom is in trouble too.
I dropped. When I woke up, my face was straight into the sand. My nose was just buried in the sand. It was all over my face.
Linda.
Tom has slept the whole night, losing vital hours that could spell the difference between life and death for Linda.
That really scared me. I just felt like I had to save her. So I kept moving. But I couldn't walk a straight line. I felt drunk like it. I staggered. I was losing it.
After his 4-day ordeal, the 68-year-old Vietnam vet's body is finally giving up, and he's now losing control of his mind.
I'd never experienced anything like that in Vietnam. Never, ever, ever. I felt very close to death. The thoughts started coming into my mind. Tom, this is your last day on Earth. And I began to realize this is it. And I dropped to my knees and I put my hands like this. And I prayed to God. God, I'm at the bottom of my life. Please help me. Please help me. And I know that you and Linda don't always see eye to eye, but please save her too. I just said it right out loud. And I heard a whop, whop, whop. And then it looked like they were going away from it. So I fired 3 shots in the air. And right up there was that young medic waving at me. It was a miracle. God had answered my prayer. I cannot describe the feeling that is that you're alive and they're going to save you.
The search and rescue helicopter was called out by 2 hikers who found Linda's note pinned to the upturned Jeep. Tom directs the rescue team to where he left Linda, but he has no idea if she's still alive. 10 minutes later, they find her.
And I look over, and there is Linda laying there. I looked at that medic, and he looked at me, and he did this. He did this. I'm sorry. Linda was alive.
Hospital treatment saved Linda's life, but the ordeal left a serious legacy. Dehydration destroyed most of her intestine, and she now needs an intravenous drip to survive.
This happened to me, and I've got to make the most of it because I've got a lot more life in me.
I still, to this day, feel guilty. I have to work on that all the time. I love her so much. I will always take care of her.
On a visit to a Hawaiian volcano, a tourist loses his way.
Made a grave error and I was really in trouble.
In this vast, unforgiving environment, there's no chance of finding help.
Guys, come on!
To make it out alive, he must figure out how to cope before his mind and body give up.
I was exhausted and injured. Fear that I may not survive this started settling in.
His only companion? A camcorder.
I want you to know I'll always be with you, always be watching over you.
This could be the last time my kids hear my voice.
I really love you guys. Bye.
41-year-old Dewey Gadki is adjusting to life after divorce. This holiday in Hawaii is one of the first he's taken without his family.
When I went over there, I really feel like my life was in a transition. I went through a painful, difficult divorce, and I was in the midst of a bunch of change. Everything felt new in many ways. I think I was taking things less seriously and becoming much more exploratory, much more curious.
Dewey's hoping that a week exploring the majestic scenery of Big Island will help him come to terms with the past and plan the future.
That is amazing.
Like every tourist, the must-see highlight of Dewey's trip to Hawaii is the spectacular Kilauea volcano. One of the most active volcanoes on the planet. It's set in 300,000 acres of barren lava fields. Devoted father Dewey badly misses his two young daughters, Trina, aged 5, and Tara, 7, who live with their mother.
Hey, Trina, Tara, it's your dad. This is the Kilauea volcano I was telling you guys about.
His kids couldn't come with him, so he's filming his holiday to share with them on his return.
Ain't she amazing? And tonight, you will see her in her full fury. More later.
But this trip to Kilauea is just a scout. Dewey plans to come back after dark when the volcano looks even more dramatic.
My friends had told me that viewing of the volcano was much better at night because you can't see the lava in the bright sunlight. I didn't expect to be out there very long, but the lady at the front desk said, well, it's very dark, you should at least buy a flashlight to take with you. So I put on jeans, good walking shoes, a t-shirt. I put my video camera in a waterproof case that I brought with me, and then I bought a flashlight, and that was my preparation for the trip.
Dewey doesn't pack a compass or bottled water for his nighttime trip. He expects to reach the volcano in a couple of hours and be back in his room soon after midnight.
I left the hotel at
drove in this old road that goes into the national park, 10, 15-mile drive. It's fairly desolate. And then the road just dead ends. Way off in the distance, I could see the very, very faint glow of orange, of the actual molten lava. It was at that moment I started realizing that I had to be careful to get back to my car because there was no light on the car, there was no street lamps, nothing to identify the road. But the moon was giving off a good bit of light, so I thought I'd be okay. I was prepared for a very short hike. The only two things I was carrying was a flashlight and my video camera, and there's no cell coverage down there. So I didn't even bother to take my cell phone.
Dewey is confident he'll find his way back to the car, but he's failed to factor in the unfamiliar terrain and total lack of landmarks.
I was just skipping from mound to mound, and there was a breeze. I felt great. It was a really, really pretty night.
But after 2 hours, Dewey is still a long way from the distant glow of flowing lava.
I was like, that orange glow doesn't seem much closer than it did an hour ago. This seems quite a bit farther than they had told me. I thought about blowing it off, but I was pretty committed to actually seeing it and having the experience, so I didn't do that.
After a 3-hour hike, Dewey reaches one of Kilauea's active vents. Here, molten lava pours spectacularly into the sea and solidifies, making Big Island a little bigger every day.
The steam and the sense of the ocean and the boiling water was just immense. To stand next to this and just realize what a small piece of this planet I am was humbling. It was phenomenal. So I took my video camera out and I started filming it. And I really wanted to get closer to it, but I kept, based on my friends telling me that it runs under the ground and there's a thin crust and all this, I kept feeling the ground as I got closer, and it got very, very hot. I was afraid it would melt my shoes, and I was afraid I could break through, and so I didn't get as close as I wanted, but it was really fascinating.
Hey, girls. It's your dad. Those lights in the distance? That's the lava flows crashing. I kind of doubt you can see anything. It's sort of like the landscape of the moon. It's the roughest, hardest terrains I've ever seen. That's it right there, girls. New Earth being created. It's a beautiful thing.
I watched the volcano for probably 20, 25 minutes, and then I was like, it's got to be late, and it's going to be very late when I get back to my car, so it's time to get headed back.
But when Dewey looks for the trail he came in on, he can't find it. Undaunted, he decides to follow the coastline and then cut inland to hit the road where he'd parked his car.
That was the plan.
But just after Dewey sets out,
the moon went down, or clouds came over. Basically, it got quite a bit darker. I think I was walking in less of a straight line. Surprisingly quickly, I hit a different texture of rock. It was, and I didn't know what it was, but instead of being this smooth, crunchy black dough, it was these large, white, crumbling boulders. And and incredibly hard to walk on that stuff. If my thinking had been clear, I think I would have noticed that I've somehow moved to a different topography, a different geography. Something's changed here. But I just didn't know if this was some strange, I'd seen so many strange formations and strange things the lava had done that it didn't occur to me that this was a bad sign.
3 hours later, Dewey thinks he's hugged the coast long enough. By his calculations, he should be only minutes from his car.
Okay, that's gotta be enough.
At the point I thought I've got to be past the end of the road, I turned left to walk inland, expecting to hit the road in my car. That's where things started going badly.
Dewey's taking a terrible gamble. If he misses his car in the darkened moonscape, he'll be heading deep into 300,000 acres of uninhabited volcanic fields.
There was no trail at all. I'm just walking across raw, unmarked lava flows.
After 3 hours hiking inland, there's still no sign of his car. Dewey realizes he's lost.
I'm just scared. I'm really scared.
Hungry, thirsty, and all alone, he feels a desperate urge to talk to someone, even if it's only his camcorder.
Well, it's getting late, and I'm dehydrated and lost. I had a plan to head up the coast and cut across the road. Obviously, the road's a lot further than I thought.
But he's confident that with the dawn, he'll be able to find his car.
When the sun comes up, I can see just this vast area. The lava seems to go on forever.
Dewey thought that daylight would help him regain his bearings. Instead, he's confronted with an alien, featureless landscape. With no mobile phone, he has no way to call for help.
I didn't see any signs of humanity at all. Very alone out there, very alone.
Although he doesn't know it, Dewey walked right past his car during the night. Now he's walking headlong into 300,000 acres of empty lava fields. Dewey breaks out his camcorder. Recording a video diary for his daughters at least gives him someone to talk to.
Well, I can't find the road. I've circled, I must have walked 5-6 miles of absolute hell. I just can't work out how you get to this spot without having crossed the road. I don't think I'll be hiking without a compass again.
Heading inland looking for the road, I ended up walking on some stuff that was really, really dangerous to walk on. These are crispy shells like overcooked cookies, and every time you step on them, they break. You fall into these holes of crumbly shards of glass-like rock.
A shard of volcanic rock has ripped Dewey's arm open.
I sliced a vein, and a lot of blood came out. It was really frightening.
Dewey has nothing to bandage his wound with. Instead, he clamps it with his hand and hopes the bleeding will stop.
I was exhausted and injured and been walking all night, been falling, scraped and cut. Physically, was not in good shape at that point.
Pretty dumb, huh? Well, I just want you guys to know that I'm working really hard to get back to you. Well, this is what I've been walking on all night. It's the roughest, nastiest terrain I've ever walked on. Miles and miles and miles of this stuff, as far as the eye can see. Really nasty terrain.
Dewey now knows that one more accident and his situation could quickly change from bad to critical. Worse, it looks as though he's still miles from safety.
I didn't see any signs of humanity at all. Very vast, very alone out there, very alone. Shortly after noon that first day, I really started seeing my thinking go bad. I would get confused that I was seeing terrain I'd seen before. I started wondering if I was walking in circles. I don't think my mind was working that well. I can't explain it, but at least for the first several hours of the day, I remained very stubbornly, foolishly attached to this idea that the road was ahead of me.
But then, Dewey hears something.
I had a helicopter coming straight toward me.
If Dewey's hotel reported him missing, this could be a search helicopter.
Hey! Over here! Hey! Guys!
But he has only seconds to try and get noticed. A mirror attached to his camera bag may be his salvation.
Come on, guys. You can see me. Come on.
There was this grand fantasy that they would see my flickering mirror and come down and pick me up and fly me out, and we'd all go get breakfast.
Hey! Over here! Hey!
But it wasn't playing out that way. When I was out on the lava rock, I was struck by how barren of life it was. There wasn't anything anywhere. No animal life that I saw except for birds. And then something hit my leg, and I looked down and it was a wire. This was the first sign of any sign of humanity I'd seen since I'd been out there. It was like a speaker wire. I traced it back and found a metal plate with reflector, like you'd see on the back of a bicycle. My mirror's not working, and I'm not getting seen. If I use this wire and these reflectors and make a belt and wear it, it might make me a little more visible.
Dewey is bitterly regretting his decision not to bring any water from the hotel. And as the temperature soars beyond 30 Celsius, the furnace-like heat of the lava fields is making him dangerously dehydrated. He's now feeling dizzy and nauseous.
Car should be here. Road.
I don't think my mind's working that well. My priorities switched. I stopped looking for the road. I started looking for water.
Surrounded by dust and rock, it seems like a futile task. But astonishingly, over the next ridge, his luck finally changes. Dewey spots an oasis, which must mean water.
The landscape's incredibly barren, incredibly open, and then there are these little oases of very dense jungle springing up. All of this walking I'd been doing, I'd never seen even a tiny puddle. And so I started crawling into these jungles, hoping to find some water. Inside the jungle, the variety of plant life is just unbelievable. There's trees, there's grasses, there's palms, there's everything you can imagine. And they're growing so closely together, you can't even see or touch the floor. You just bend them over into this suspended net of plants and crawl on top of them.
But just as Dewey gets his first taste of water in nearly 12 hours,
Come on, guys, over here!
like the first helicopter, it doesn't appear to notice him.
Come on!
Throughout the day, several more helicopters pass overhead.
Over here!
But none of them sees him. Dewey starts to realize that they aren't search and rescue helicopters, but are carrying tourists on sightseeing trips to the volcano. Mad with thirst, he's torn between trying to attract their attention and finding life-saving water.
At that point, I started doing schizophrenic back and forth. I would crawl as fast as I could to get out where I could reflect the mirror at them. And then as soon as that didn't work and they were gone, I'd crawl back in again to try to find moisture.
Guys! Come on!
I was really operating in very much a panicked way that was it was burning up everything I had. Then I look down and the beads of sweat on my arm are as big as the drops I'm getting. So I'm exerting way more energy and water and moisture than I am actually getting moisture.
I flashed my mirror at probably 12 helicopters today, and not one acknowledged me. I don't think anyone's looking for me.
At that point, I started to get really afraid. I can't do two things at once. I need to find water. I'm going to make it for at least a year without a helicopter, but I'm not going to make it another day without water.
In the small oasis, plants are thriving. But Dewey can only find beads of moisture, not nearly enough to satisfy his raging thirst.
I see this very large drop of water. I'm leaning over to try to reach it, and as I do, I'm supporting myself from falling by pushing on the edge of a tree with my left hand. And I was like, something feels strange. And there's a green moss growing on the side of the tree. I tore some of it off and squeezed it. A trickle of water ran out. I did hold the water in my mouth as a test to see if there was anything acidy or burning that felt like it might be poisonous. It
looks like Dewey's in luck. But he needs to collect more than just a mouthful.
My flashlight batteries were dead. I threw them away, and I started squeezing this moss into the handle of my flashlight. It wasn't exactly, clean, delicious water, but I was pretty happy that I'd actually found it. That gave me some confidence. It improved my thinking and my sense of hope. I don't think I was completely dancing for joy yet, but I was encouraged. I actually had found a source of water. That was the life-saving moment for me.
This amazing green moss has furnished me with a flashlight full of delicious muddy water. Muddy water never tasted so good.
The small oasis has saved Dewey's life, for now. But he knows that if anyone is looking for him, his best chance of being rescued is out in the open. In fact, Dewey's hotel has raised the alarm, and an air search and rescue is now on. But spotting a tiny figure in nearly 300,000 acres of featureless terrain is like looking for a needle in a haystack. As a second night on the volcano approaches, and temperatures begin to plummet, Dewey realizes he must find somewhere to shelter.
I felt like I had to find a warmer place because I couldn't sit out in the wind and get any sleep. I found this crack that just went straight down into the earth. It wasn't even a cave, it was kind of a fissure. And I crawled down into there. But it was very frightening, incredibly crumbly. And I was really concerned that if I just bumped to the wall in the wrong way, this thing could cave in on me. I was just nervous about it, but I felt like I had to be out of the wind because the wind had gotten stronger and it was getting chillier.
Dewey now faces the grim hours ahead, knowing that at any moment, his shelter could become his grave.
It was straight down into the ground.
Exhausted and despairing, Dewey is now regretting leaving the safety and shelter of the oasis. All he can do is pray he can survive till morning. Dewey can see no way out of his predicament. Hungry, dehydrated, and demoralized, his video messages are becoming increasingly desperate.
In the beginning, the camera was really the solace to me. It was comforting to actually have something to talk to.
Kids, hi. It's your dad again.
But by the third day, some real grounded fear that I may not survive this started settling in.
I'm so sorry to let you down, but I'm in real trouble here. Truth be told, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do.
Dewey's beginning to think that he may not make it out alive. He's chronically dehydrated, and his body is close to collapse.
At this point, I'm really not walking well. My balance is off, my leg's injured. I had this sprained ankle that I'd turned, 3 or 4 times. I was really sick of turning that. I had so many cuts and blisters and things going on my feet. I felt like if I keep walking on these rocks, collapsing and falling, I'm gonna break a leg and die.
You're gonna kill yourself like this, Dewey.
Dewey needs to get water, and soon. That means finding another oasis. In temperatures approaching 40 Celsius, his body is losing over 3 liters of fluid a day. And Dewey's brain is starting to suffer the effects of serious dehydration.
I don't know that I can articulate exactly how dehydration felt. A fuzzy, unclear way of thinking. Thinking I'm walking in circles. Dry mouth. Seeing things.
But Dewey isn't seeing things. He's found water, just in time. Dewey decides to change his plan. Instead of trying to escape the volcano, he'll stay at the water source and pray that someone rescues him.
My idea was, if I can learn to survive, I can make it as long as I have to.
Dewey hasn't eaten in 37 hours. He's starving, but has no idea what's edible and what might be poisonous.
One thing I had been doing is testing some foods to see if they made me sick and see if they were edible. So if I had to stay there for a long time, I would have an idea of what I could eat to survive.
Guess that one's a no.
Starving and exhausted, Dewey desperately needs a good night's rest to regain his strength.
So I figured I'd better come up with a way to shelter myself.
Dewey's life in the city hasn't prepared him for this. So he must dig deep and develop survival skills.
I found some reeds that I could bend into a dome shape and shove them into the mud. And then pile stuff on top. That afternoon, I made a rudimentary little hut that I could crawl into. It was very, very flimsy.
Proud of his achievements, Dewey decides to tell his daughters.
Hey, Trina, Tara. You always said you wanted a vacation home, so here it is. I just built this shelter, and I'm hoping it's gonna help me survive. These leaves here, they're gonna help me collect water.
In the night, rain begins to fall. A light shower could fill his leaf collectors with life-saving water. But this isn't a shower.
The worst thing about the whole time out there was the nights. The wind cut right through my shelter, and it was just absolutely freezing. It was not well insulated. I hadn't put a door on it. Being in the wind and the rain and bugs crawling on me and not being able to move because I'd knocked down my shelter. That was the hardest thing for me. I shivered the whole night, and it wasn't a mild shiver. I shivered like deep muscle shiver.
The storm has trashed his shelter and overturned his rain catchers.
The third morning, the hunger had set in, the isolation had set in. I'd been shivering all night. I was exhausted. I was injured. I was sore. There was a lot of hopelessness.
To make matters worse, Dewey now makes a shocking discovery.
I had all these shards of pumice or lava rock or whatever it is embedded in my feet. There was some pussiness to it, and there was kind of a reddish line, and it was really sore. Just a constant swollen pressure inside of it. And that's when my idea that I can sit this out, it fell apart. I thought, well, I can sit it out unless I've got gangrene or unless I've got some infection. It felt really real. You know, it felt really right up against the edge of existence at that point.
After more than 51 hours alone, and with no one to share his ordeal, Dewey's turning to his camera more and more.
I hope you guys are proud of me. I ain't no quitter. I ain't no quitter. I got my reflector belt up in the tree. But, as you can see, it ain't doing me no good. Looks like it's just you and me.
Unknown to Dewey, search and rescue helicopters are out looking for him. In the night, local police have found his jeep. But after 3 days, scouring 300,000 acres of volcanic fields, they're starting to think he hasn't survived.
Tired. Real tired. I'm scared.
By morning, Dewey's hit rock bottom, and the infection in his foot is spreading. The pain is excruciating. Any remaining hopes Dewey had of walking off the volcano are gone.
My foot is pretty badly blistered, and I'm pussing. see me, to find me.
His only hope is to make one final attempt to attract the passing tourist helicopters.
Well, I thought if I could build a fire, a large fire with a lot of smoke, might actually attract rescuers.
Dewey decides that the lava fields which have held him hostage for 5 days might give him an escape route. If he can use the red-hot lava to ignite a branch, he can start a fire and make a beacon. But to do it, Dewey must brave the volcano's toxic gases. Even brief exposure to concentrated carbon dioxide could kill him.
Rescue me.
I crawled down into one of these volcanic vents and tried to stick a long branch down into where it seemed like it was a hot area.
Light! Light, son! Burn, you son of a...
After just a few minutes choking in the intense heat and smoke, Dewey realizes he's taking a suicidal risk.
There was fumes coming out of there, and I was afraid I was going to pass out.
It's a bitter blow. Tourist helicopters continue to fly by, and Dewey still has no way of attracting their attention.
I came to the conclusion the only way I'm going to be able to get a fire is if I can get a magnifying glass to amplify the sun onto some leaves. The only place I could think to get a magnifying glass was the lens inside of my video camera. The camera was always my companion, someone to talk to, my connection to the outside in a way. Talking to it every day was a solace to me. It was comforting, so I didn't want to smash it.
Before destroying the only companion he's had, Dewey decides to record one final message to his daughters.
I was thinking, you know, this could be the last time my kids hear my voice.
My name is Dewey Gadki, and this is my final will and testament.
I'm realizing how much pain I'm putting my family through, and I just want to say, guys, I'm sorry I was stupid and reckless.
I was feeling for my kids if they had to grow up, you know, without me.
Trina and Tara, if I don't make it back, guys, I am so sorry. I want you to know I'll always be with you, always be watching over you.
It was a pretty emotional process of saying goodbye.
If this is my time and place, it's a really beautiful place. But I'm going to do my best to get back to you guys. I'm not quitting. I really love you guys. Bye.
But Dewey does have one slim hope. He thinks that if he can extract the glass lens from inside his beloved video camera, he may just be able to start a fire with it.
I understood that I was taking that film out, putting it in a waterproof case and hanging it on the tree for someone else to find. For somebody to find after I was dead.
Dewey feels that his camera is the one thing that's kept him sane. Destroying it is almost more than he can bear.
But I figured I needed to. I needed to, you know, make the hard choice and try to find a way to stay alive.
To get to the lens, he has to smash the camera. The problem is, he risks smashing the lens too.
I got some big rocks and started trying to break my camera open. I couldn't get anywhere.
The lens just won't come loose.
If I hit it too hard with too big of a rock, I would have crushed the glass, and it was just a painful effort. I heard a helicopter.
But it's yet another tourist group, checking out the volcano, not looking for him.
I decided, well, they're ignoring me. There's no point in getting up and flashing my mirror. But it flew right over to me, and I was like, is it possible that they actually saw me this time? And started circling me, and it was at that moment that I totally knew they saw me.
Incredibly, one of the tourists was able to capture on camera the moment of Dewey's discovery.
Yeah, he needs help. He's waving you down.
And it was at that moment I really started crying. I was alive after 5 days. I had this huge kind of release of all the fear and all the desperation I've been kind of keeping somewhat at bay. And it all came busting forth, and I just sat on the ground and I cried and I shook.
Nearly 90 hours after his ordeal began, Dewey was airlifted to hospital, where he was treated for his injuries and severe dehydration. 4 days later, he returned home to Austin, Texas, to be reunited with his daughters.
Absolutely the biggest thing behind my will to live was my kids, wanting to get back to them and not wanting them to have to grow up without a father.
Dewey owed his life to the young, inquisitive tourist who spotted him, Peter Frank.
He said, "Thanks a lot, you saved my life," and then he asked me for my home phone number and stuff.
And what did you say?
I said it's cool.
Peter has remained in touch with Dewey, Trina, and Tara ever since. A thrill seeker convinces two friends to hike into a remote canyon.
I chose what I thought was the easiest canyon.
I think he was trying to convert us into becoming mountain men.
But when they get lost in the narrow crevices,
I can't do it!
they become trapped.
This is madness. I got them into this. I need to get us out of it.
Now, the only way out is up.
I'm gonna climb out. It felt like he made it.
It's just a wave of fear that rushes over me.
It's something that I'll never forget.
Ben's dead!
Scared.
Grade school teachers Ben Gowans, Jason Cox, and Clay Craig are setting out on a spring break adventure.
Come on, big guy.
We met when we were in college together. We were in the School of Education. We were some of the only men in the program, so we kind of made an immediate bond. We had kind of done an annual trip we called the Man Trip.
Ben plans to take his friends on a day trip through the narrow canyons of Utah.
The first time I went canyoneering was so exciting. Clay and Jason, they were my buddies already. If I could get them hooked on this, I thought we would be set.
Ben had been researching some different hikes, and I think he was trying to convert us into becoming mountain men.
No. Can't we just go to Vegas?
But not everyone shares Ben's enthusiasm.
He wants to go to Vegas.
Jason has been feeling sick all morning.
Even though I wasn't sure, I was sure that I wanted it to be the three of us to go do something together. So I agreed on going canyoneering. The drive down was really fun. We just joked around and had great conversation. That's one of the things I really enjoy about our friendship, is that we talk together and get along so well.
On the way to Hanksville, we were pretty lighthearted. I mean, we were laughing and having a good time, and we all three felt good about the trip.
The three friends have said goodbye to their wives and children and are driving 50 kilometers into the wilderness. Ben has planned an easy 3-hour hike through Leprechaun Canyon, a spectacular and remote 5-kilometer gorge with canyoneering routes for all levels of ability.
I chose what I thought was the easiest canyon, given the description.
So it's yours? We got one of these each. Okay. Okay, we ready, guys? See where we're going. See what I mean?
But the beautiful scenery is the last thing on Jason's mind.
Where's Jay? Jay! Come on, Jay, move your butt. You want to go back to the car?
No, it's okay. I'm coming.
Okay. Come on, man up.
I wasn't feeling that great. I was just really sick, not feeling well at all. And they were saying, you can go back to the car if you'd like. It'll only be a few hours.
Jason kept saying, I'm okay, I'm all right. So we kept going. You know, I think in the back of my mind, I was hoping that Jason would say, I can't do this, let's turn around and go back.
And there were two things going on in my mind at that time. I'm not a quitter, so I didn't want to give up on it. And then the other thing was, what am I going to do for 2 to 4 hours? You know, I didn't really want to sit in a vehicle for that long.
The adventure kicks off with an adrenaline-charged challenge. They'll have to abseil down an 8-meter cliff face to the start of the canyon system.
I'm not sure about this, guys. Come on. Jay, you can do it.
You're okay, you're okay. No, that's it. Come on.
Yeah! Well done, big man. You did it. That was cool.
Ben has chosen a circular route through the canyons and back to their vehicle. There's no way they could climb back up the way they came.
It was probably a 25-foot drop. Once we went over that point, there really was no option of going back up the canyon.
But up ahead, the winding canyon lies open, and the adrenaline of the abseil is coursing through Ben.
I was extremely excited. I was in heaven. I was having the time of my life.
Ben and his friends find themselves in an awe-inspiring and surreal landscape.
Ben was having a great time, laughing, joking, and I still wasn't feeling that great.
I told you it was awesome. Hey, you feeling better? Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful red rock. It's smooth. And once you get down into the slots of the canyon is when it becomes even more beautiful.
I just remember how quiet it was. And it was kind of exhilarating to pass by all of these high walls of the Red Rock Canyon and walk through areas that you don't know how long it's been since a human's been through there, so it was kind of amazing.
I mean, the canyon's kind of like it's a maze. There are places that it just winds around. There are places that are so tight that you have to turn sideways to get through.
Yeah.
We took a picture of the three of us when we got to this point where we got down to the bottom of the canyon. We felt that we were at the bottom at least, finally.
The main thing I love about canyoneering is getting out to where there aren't as many people. I just loved being somewhat isolated in a place that no one had been, and to me, just being deep in the slot canyons where the walls are narrow and twisting, and the light and just the scenery and all the things that you can only see and you can only do by going canyoneering. That's what really appealed to me.
It is just an incredible, I mean, I don't know if you can call a place both beautiful and dangerous at the same time, but it was just so, I was in awe.
But the beauty of the canyons can distract even the wary from the dangers that lie within. The canyon offers a variety of routes, from the very easy to the virtually impossible. And soon Ben faces a choice.
You okay? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. No, but look. The GPS is saying a little further on.
I was using the GPS, but I was also using a description that we had printed off the internet. It talked about a shallow down climb that led into the bottom of the sandy canyon. The GPS said we needed to go 90 feet farther, but what I was seeing right in front of me was exactly like the description.
Yeah.
So having never used the GPS before, I thought that I knew better. So I thought, this matches the description. I'm going to go down here.
Okay. Come on.
The friends have made a critical error. By ignoring the GPS, they've missed their trail. They're now entering the canyon's most technically difficult route.
Once we started down the canyon, the walls started to climb and get higher and closer and closer. And for me, it was exactly what I'd hoped for. It was exciting. I was in heaven. I was having the time of my life.
Come on, guys! Guys! Come on!
Guys, wait for me!
They don't know it yet, But the three friends are at the entrance to one of the narrowest canyons in the world. Jason is worried. The route Ben suggested shouldn't be this extreme.
I continued to enjoy it as we got deeper down into the slot, and it got darker, and in some places we couldn't even see the sky. And it was amazing to me.
The canyon got narrower and narrower.
Hey, Ben. Yeah?
I started to get nervous about whether or not we'd chosen the right spot.
Look, we'll get through here, and then we're back on the wider path, okay? Come on.
The canyon is so narrow, it's not long before they have to leave the safety of solid ground. Now they use a technique called stemming.
You put your knees up against one wall and your backside up against the next, and you kind of shimmy your way until you can get to another spot.
I was rather in my own world.
Okay, guys? This is killing me, Ben! This is what we came for! You never said it'd be this narrow.
That's when I remember them starting to voice concern. It was after that it started to occur to me that this isn't quite exactly what the description explained. I could tell that Clay and Jason they weren't ready for it. It was too much.
The higher above the canyon floor they get, the more nervous Jason becomes.
I was worn out. I was getting banged up. My knees were hurting. My hands were sore. And the farther we went, the more and more exhausted I was getting.
The canyon now bears no resemblance to the description. Ben accepts, for the first time, that he's made a massive navigational mistake.
I would just have this wave of guilt come over me, like, oh, what have I done?
Instead of the planned beginner's route, Ben has led them into the toughest grade canyon, with no experience and little equipment.
Ben, this is madness.
I'd planned the trip. This was my doing. And I was feeling an urgency to get out now. The pleasure of the canyon was gone.
What now, Ben?
Ben doesn't want to scare his friends. He decides they should press on.
Once we got to the point where I knew we had to get out, down canyon, to me, was the only option. Because looking at the walls of the canyon, they were straight up.
Okay, let's just keep going a little longer, okay? Come on.
At 6 meters above the canyon floor, Jason is already struggling.
I was just trying to hold my place, and my legs were burning. I was exhausted.
I can't do it! I can't move! I think I'm slipping!
Jay! Jay, you okay?
Jason's backpack has left him wedged in a 60-centimeter gap,
I'm stuck!
with 1 million tons of rock pressing against him.
Guys, I'm stuck
here, come on! Okay, Jay, keep calm.
I've never been one to be claustrophobic, but when I got into that space in the canyon, I felt for the first time just like everything was closing in on me. I really thought I was going to black out.
Help me!
Clay. God, I'm sorry.
I just had this overwhelming feeling of responsibility. And they had completely trusted me. And I had let them down. It was through my mistakes, my navigational errors, we were in the situation we were in.
You gotta get me out of here, Ben! Do something, guys!
I got them into this, I need to get us out of it.
Jason is trapped far below his two friends. Through Ben's mistakes, they're on the toughest route in the canyon, with no idea what lies ahead. And with no climbing equipment, the overhang that provided a fun abseil on the way in now poses an impossible obstacle to a way out.
Jay! Hold on! I'm gonna think of something.
The deadly web of canyons has lured them in, and now holds them trapped, with no way back and no way out. Ben, the group leader, presses on in search of a way out up ahead.
It just went forever in this V shape. Clear out. I just thought, this is not the way. It was way past the abilities of all of us.
He returns with bad news.
We can't go that way. It's even narrower.
Come on, Ben, it's freaking me out! Jay, hold on, hold on! Breathe deep, come on, keep calm, Jay.
How are we gonna get out of here? Jason was just kind of screaming, saying, I'm wedged down in this canyon. And I kept asking Ben, what are we going to do? We can't go the other way.
I think I got us stuck. I don't know how to get out.
I had 100% trust in Ben. And I remember the time that Ben said to me, I don't know what to do. And that scared me to death.
Ben has led his friends into a trap. A simple hike that should have taken just 3 hours has taken 8, and it will soon be getting dark.
I decided we can't continue this way. Jason's stuck already. He's exhausted. Clay is not happy either. We've got to do something else.
I'm gonna climb out.
If I could just climb to the top of the canyon, just to the lip, I can drop a rope down to them. I will come back down and I'll help us get out. And then we'll walk out on top of the plateau.
Are you crazy?
No, I think I can do it.
I couldn't have lived with myself if we didn't all get out.
Jay! It's okay, buddy, I got it. I'm gonna climb out. I'm gonna set up a rope. I'm gonna get you out, okay?
Ben felt a lot of pressure to get us out. A part of me thought, should I talk him out of it? But a part of me thought, no, I trust Ben.
I can do it.
When it came to this sort of thing, Ben was the man. I mean, he had done this before.
I was just going to go to the top. I was going to secure rope and I was going to give us a way out. At the time, I didn't know what else I was going to do. It's my responsibility. I spearheaded this trip. I brought them to this place. That was the whole reason I decided to free climb a 70-foot cliff.
Ben is a novice, attempting an ascent that would challenge the most experienced climber.
Way to go, Ben!
But he's powered by a potent cocktail of guilt, adrenaline, and sheer determination.
God, he was doing good. I just kept thinking, come on. I felt like he was going to make it.
He was going up the side of the wall very quickly. I was quite surprised at how fast he was able to make it that high.
With no safety rope to break a fall, he risks his life with every move he makes.
You're doing great, Ben. Keep going.
I was just praying that he would make it to the top, and he got pretty far up. I mean, he was high. He was really high.
I love you, Clay!
I remember looking back down at Clay and telling him he was my best friend. Clay, you're my best friend.
You're almost there, buddy.
As I'm making progress, I'm finding it a little more frightening to be higher and higher above the canyon floor.
That's it, pal.
He almost got to the top, and I was just really hoping that he'd make it.
I'm fine! I'm almost there, boys!
Ben has made it 22 meters up a vertical wall of rock. His next handhold will take him over the edge.
I grabbed the rocks. The edge was kind of rotten, the rock crumbly.
I know that I'm going to fall, and it's just a wave of fear that rushes over me. I know instantly that I'm not going to make it, that I've failed.
It felt like he made it. You couldn't have been any closer.
Then, disaster strikes.
He grabbed onto that last rock just to pull himself up and out. And when I saw that snap, everything around me, it was silent, it was slow motion.
I've never heard a man scream like that. He knew he was in trouble and he couldn't do anything about it. Something that I'll never forget.
This is a narrow canyon. This is extremely narrow. And it's just like ping pong going back and forth, just all the way down the canyon and just jarring his head back and forth.
I heard him hit both sides of the canyon. Then a large thud when he hit the bottom of the canyon.
Ben! Oh, God, he's dead. He's dead. Oh, God.
I just didn't think he was going to be alive. I went crazy. And it finally came to my senses. I came to my senses and I said to myself, I gotta go see Ben. It's a lot easier to stem your way down a canyon than to stem your way up a canyon. So I get out of the situation that I was in.
Jay!
I don't think I wanted to face reality of what I was going to see.
Faced with the sight of his stricken friend, Clay slips into shock.
He started screaming out that he was dead, and he just kept screaming it over and over again. And I couldn't accept that.
Jason has to escape the narrow crevice that's trapping him and help his friend.
And I think just the adrenaline rush and the fear of my friend being dead gave me enough strength to start to climb again. I switched into something else, a survival mode. It was like I had to get out of there no matter what. I fought and fought I remember I was screaming, clawing, just doing everything I could, and I was just inching forward, an inch at a time, but I was moving, and so I didn't care, and I just kept fighting.
I was so grateful that Jason got out. I can't even tell you. When I saw Jason, it was just the most welcoming sight because he had it together. And I think he saw me going crazy and just knew that he better pull himself together.
I immediately started assessing the situation, trying to see what was going on.
Gotta get help.
I was going to have to be very calm and try to help Clay and Ben. I felt a great weight fall on my shoulders. His head had hit a sandy area about 2 feet away from that boulder. He was bleeding from his mouth, his nose, his eyes, and his ears.
All the signs indicate that Ben has suffered a major cranial injury. Jason might be too late to save his friend.
He's my best friend. I really thought he was dead. I did.
Clay's not dead.
He was breathing.
It's a miracle he's alive after the 22-meter fall.
So I started to check him over for broken bones and injuries. I felt his ribs, and they felt broken. I immediately knew that he had a very severe head injury. His scalp on the back of his head was peeled up, and he was bleeding from different areas.
Oh, God.
The impact has violently shaken Ben's brain within his skull. The blood vessels in his head have burst. As blood accumulates, it puts pressure on the brain that could prove fatal. The friends were only meant to be out for a leisurely hike.
What's this? Bug spray? Band-aids? Damn, there's nothing here!
They're prepared for minor cuts, but not a traumatic injury.
Just looking at Ben, I couldn't believe that I was in this situation. And Ben can't be lying there spitting up green bile and bleeding, and this isn't real. It was not really happening.
We gotta get out.
Clay switched again into a panic.
We gotta get out. Gotta get help.
I went crazy. I think I went into shock. I kept thinking, I'm gonna save the day, and so I tried to climb my way out, too.
That was one of the most desperate moments I've ever faced. I kept telling him we needed to just stay together and pool our resources and be able to talk it over together.
Sarge, I can't do this.
Ben was actually lying in water, just a little bit of water where he had landed. Because it was so cold and I knew we were going to end up spending the night, I talked Clay into helping me move him to a place that was dry, where his head was elevated, and we could watch him really closely as it got darker.
It's possible that moving him could worsen Ben's head injury.
Nice and easy, okay?
But by not moving him, the dropping temperatures will almost certainly bring on hypothermia.
The entire time we were moving him, he was just moaning and groaning and in a lot of pain. We knew he was hurt badly.
And their ordeal is about to get worse. The sun is sinking, and the darkness brings a sudden drop in temperature. Jason and Clay must sacrifice their jackets to keep their friend alive.
We just started to take the clothing that we had to try to keep him as warm as possible.
Help me raise his head.
Unless Ben gets to a hospital soon, he will die.
Way to go, buddy. Way to go. It's okay, buddy.
Jason and Clay take stock. They have to find a way to save their friend.
We were in a place where the climb was well beyond our means. We didn't have the experience. We didn't have the gear. It was frustrating and scary.
No signal. You tell your wife where we were going?
The first thing that I did that was wrong, and I knew was wrong, was not discuss with my wife the exact location. I hadn't left maps or any plans or anything like that.
Nobody knows where they are. Their only hope is that their wives will send for help when they don't come home. But even then, finding the three friends deep in a narrow canyon in the vast Utah wilderness will be virtually impossible.
There are hundreds upon hundreds of slot canyons down there, and the three of us are stuck in one of those.
Jay.
What?
I'm scared.
I'm scared for Jason. I was scared for me, obviously, that I couldn't get out. My number one fear was Ben.
Ben is slipping in and out of a semi-conscious state. Their day trip adventure has become a desperate struggle for survival.
He's in a bad way, Jay. How are we gonna get him out of here?
He's not dead. You hear me? He's not dead. Anybody?
The night was probably the thing that I dreaded the very most because I knew the temperature would drop.
Darkness has fallen. The temperature plummets below freezing, and Jason and Clay huddle together for warmth. They've already given their jackets to Ben to keep him alive.
This is the first time in my life that I'd ever been so cold that I couldn't stop my teeth from chattering. I kept thinking, I just can't wait till this ends. It's gotta end, because it was so miserable.
It is so dark down there. It was cold. It was a bone-chilling cold.
And as the temperature drops even further, the weather worsens.
Jason. Jay.
What?
Look at the sky.
So that was one of my fears throughout the entire hike. And as the night wore on, it got cloudy and it looked like there was a possibility of rain.
It's not good. What are we gonna do? Let's cover up Ben. Keep him dry.
Clay started looking for a place up off the canyon floor where we could be able to get to if it did start to rain. There was a little ledge about 10 feet off the canyon floor, and we were hoping that between the two of us we could get Ben up there. We didn't want to move him unless we absolutely had to.
Clay, it's getting worse. The best we can do, right next to Ben, keep him warm. Just hope to God it doesn't rain.
He didn't talk to us at all. His guts were hurting him. He was still bleeding. We prayed all night that no rain. We can't do that. We cannot do the rain. If you get a rainstorm, it doesn't take much rain for a flood to come, barreling through those slot canyons.
If there's a sudden downpour, the dry, sandy canyon would soon become a raging torrent. The prospect of a slow, lingering death would be transformed in an instant into a swift and violent drowning. sun rises. The hours of freezing darkness have taken their toll on both body and mind. And the new day brings no relief. As Jason stirs from his half-sleep, he makes a shocking discovery.
With the pressure of his head, the water bladder actually popped open in the night and started leaking.
All the water's gone, man.
When we first assessed what we had, I thought we could last for at least 3 to 4 days. But then after we lost all that water in the night, I didn't really know how long we could last. It was almost completely gone. There was just a couple of swallows left in the bag.
They give the last precious drops to Ben. It might keep him alive a little longer, but they need to find a replacement supply, and fast. Without water for even a day, the blood thickens, putting strain on the heart. On day 2, the body's systems begin to fail. Surviving a 3rd day is unlikely. They urgently need help, but trapped 22 meters below the surface, any rescue will have to come from above.
We formulated a little plan together, one of us tending to Ben, making sure he was doing okay, while the other one would go and hit the canyon wall 5 times, wait for a few seconds, hit again 5 times.
Help us! Is anybody there?
We did that all day, back and forth.
Can you hear us?
Sound travels a long ways, and if we were pounding on the wall with the hammer, that was a good way for people to hear us.
But they're in the middle of nowhere, swallowed up by thousands of kilometers of uninhabited wilderness. As the hours pass, Clay and Jason begin to entertain their worst fear. Unless help comes soon, their friend might never recover.
He may be alive, but I didn't know what state of mind he would be coming out. I didn't know if he would be the same Ben that would be able to teach school and, you know, go on hikes again. I thought my buddy was gone.
I thought if he did pass away, it'd probably put us over the edge. We would probably lose it. It looked pretty bleak if no one found us.
A whole day spent hammering on the wall of the canyon has brought no help at all. And as darkness falls, the temperature plunges once again.
I looked over at Jason and I just told him, I don't know if I can do another night. I had a wife at home. She was 2 months pregnant. I had 3 little boys at home. I just started teaching school. I felt like life was so good, you know, and I thought I'm giving it all up.
I thought about having my kids being raised without a dad. Those were the moments that were tough for me.
Did a lot of praying. It was me just really trying to send some type of a signal to my wife that we were in trouble. I knew she would know that there was something wrong.
He started crying, and I could hear that he was really emotional, and I kind of broke down myself.
Their lives are nearing their end. It's just a question of what will kill them first: dehydration or hypothermia. And Ben will be the first to die.
I couldn't even imagine staying down there any longer, going through another night. It was the coldest I've ever been in my life down there.
We all three felt responsible for each other, and it would have been really hard to live with the fact that one of us didn't make it out.
Rescue is unlikely. They haven't left any details of their planned route with their wives. The only way out is the same freefall climb that has left Ben clinging to life.
If Clay or I had tried to climb out, I think either we wouldn't have been able to get very far just due to our lack of energy, or we would have fallen and that we would fall to our death.
There's no way out. The canyon has become their tomb.
And at first, I didn't believe it.
We heard helicopters initially flying overhead, and we couldn't see them because the gap above us was so narrow, but we could hear them.
Get out the camera! When it goes past, fire flash!
We had a camera, and we thought that they might actually see the flash. The helicopters approached our area.
It's a miracle. Someone is looking for them.
Jason and I were both just screaming and trying to get someone's attention.
It's the cruelest twist yet. A search and rescue helicopter has passed within meters of the top of their canyon. But 22 meters below the surface, they're virtually invisible.
I'm back.
We were so desperate because we thought they can't see us down here. When those helicopters went away, I just dropped to my knees.
It was so quiet. I just remember how quiet it was. It's something that I'll never forget.
We were desperate. All throughout the night, Jason and I were thinking they're gone. They're not coming back. And just wondering if Ben really would make it another night.
I remember sitting next to Ben on the canyon floor and going to tears quite a few times.
I thought my buddy was gone.
Jay. Do you hear that?
It was all just so unreal when we heard voices.
There's someone up there.
A ground search and rescue team had heard their cries as the helicopter flew past. Moments later, the chopper returned to winch them to safety. "30 hours after falling 22 meters to the canyon floor, Ben was airlifted to safety. The wives of the three friends had raised the alarm when they didn't hear from their husbands. By checking the internet research Ben had done on the canyons, His wife managed to locate the area they were in. While his friends quickly recovered, Ben was in rehabilitation for months. He had severe head injuries, broken ribs, and a burst eardrum. But eventually, he made a complete recovery.
I remember starting to climb up to save us. I was going to climb to the top. I remember brushing the dirt out of the cracks. The next thing I remember was waking up in a hospital bed at the University of Utah Hospital.
Despite their traumatic ordeal, the three remain best friends.
I shouldn't be alive. I should have died in the canyon. Jason and Clay did save my life. They were there when I needed them, despite my stupid mistakes.
I still love the outdoors, and we still go on man trips. We go hiking. We don't go to slot canyons anymore.
We still get together every month and go to dinner, and I still feel like they're my best friends. They're my brothers. Doesn't matter what happens in life, we're still really close, and I think we always will be.